the stream is up and going. Seems like it is. I'll get the music going. Yeah, this looks like it is all working. Let's get that Dragon Age soundtrack going and get the pop-out chat. We're like half an hour early, but we can just chill and hang out for a bit while we get ready for this. Oh yeah, there we go. We got soundtrack now. I forgot I had muted my desktop audio. That's better. How is everyone today? Just finishing the setup. Ooh, congrats, Tara. I hope your popcorn is good. I'm excited for 20 minutes of Dragon Age. 20 minutes of Dragon Age. And maybe a release date, one can hope and cross our fingers. Let me turn that soundtrack down a little. Hey, Mazurf. I don't usually keep the, I don't usually keep the chat open for things like this for big AAA games because they're pretty toxic. No matter what AAA game it is, the YouTube live chat or the Twitch live chat will be pretty toxic. I am enjoying just glancing over it in the corner of my eye because it seems to be a lot of people going, if there's gay shit in it, day one delete, I'm not playing. And in response, just lots of people spamming pride flags. And I'm like, oh, look, if you're expecting to come to a Dragon Age game with zero LGBT content, or like a single LGBT, and you'll return the game, it's woke propaganda, you've come to the wrong series. Like, Dragon Age Inquisition has one of the few named, well-written trans man characters in a big-budget AAA video game with Krem. The wonderful line of dialogue from Dragon Age Inquisition, I will... No, go away, advert. One sec. Yes, has the wonderful line from Iron Bull about Krem as a trans man. If you let me just get the chat back up, which was, I don't give a nug's ass if he can't piss standing up. Which is like, that's good army bro solidarity for trans men. I don't give a nug's ass if he can't piss standing up. I'm like, that's how you do it. So, point being, yeah, Mazurf says, a lot of things can be said about Dragon Age, it not being inclusive is not one of them. Exactly. So, like, the people in this YouTube chat who are like, there's gonna be gay stuff. They're fighting a losing battle. People being like, straight power in the chat. I'm like, you really think there's not gonna be the LGBTs, the lugbuts? Transcendent Creator says, fun fact, the new director is a queer trans woman, hoping queer stuff will be even better than before. Honestly, Dragon Age could be even gayer, and I hope it will be. People have pointed out there are some prominent queer people working on this game, and that is cool. I think that is... I don't think it's an accident that you get certain people being in charge of a very character-led game that has a history of trying to push itself to be more inclusive over time. So, yeah, I doubt we'll see much of that today, but I imagine at some point we'll get the here is a supercut of all the gay, and I, for one, very much look forward to that day. Why limit ourselves to real-life sexualities and gender identities? This is fantasy. Let's invent some new ones, too. Exactly! Let's get creative! Create some new fantasy sexualities that people can go, oh, you unlocked a sexuality in me I didn't know was an option. Dragon Age, no cisquisition. Ah, well done, neurodivergers. Yeah, there's been a couple of very short clips that the Dragon Age team put out on social media, I think, to just like reassure people, hey, if you didn't like the vibe of the cinematic, yeah, here's like 20 seconds of the gameplay, like you're gonna dig it. I'm enjoying what I'm hearing about press impressions. I believe some press got to go hands-on with it at Summer Games Fest, and I assume later today or in the next couple of days, like hands-on impressions are going up, I would guess. The rumblings I'm hearing from people who have gone hands-on with it are very positive. I can say this. I am hearing rumblings of, oh, BioWare found their magic again. It's been a while since BioWare's felt like this. And I'm like, that's big words to say after the last quite a while since BioWare had what was generally considered a big success. So one thing I've been looking at is I've been looking at the some people have been announced as being part of the community council or player council, I think it was called, which is really prominent like Dragon Age YouTuber, like lore YouTubers and Twitch streamers and people who are like their entire personality is being Dragon Age mega fans on the internet. A bunch of them apparently got invited on like 2 or 3 separate occasions to come play a bunch of this Dragon Age at BioWare's headquarters, give them really detailed feedback on what they liked, what they didn't, how it was coming together. So it seems like they've been making a real big effort to be like the big influential people in the fandom space who are the most invested in Dragon Age. Are we doing okay? Is this going to be a Dragon Age people will enjoy? And those people aren't allowed to say much specific, but the social media posts I have seen have been like, yeah, it's fucking good. So that's neat. Hey, Sightless Combat. Saint Nobody says, how dare you slander Anthem? I wish I could slander Anthem, but I didn't play enough of it to be able to slander it. I would need to remember anything about Anthem to slander it. Neurodiverges says, this game has me interested in getting back into Dragon Age Inquisition and finishing that. I might do a playthrough of Inquisition on stream at some point between now and when this comes out. If they announce a release date for this, I can plan around that. I would like to do a full playthrough of Inquisition before this comes out. Sightless Combat says, I've never played a Dragon Age game. I would love to hope that this one will be the one that I can. I have no idea if it will be. There was a leaked snippet of gameplay that makes it seem like, and this was like a couple of years ago, so who knows if things have changed since then. Combat-wise, it was looking like it was going to be quite God of War Ragnarok-esque in its combat system. BioWare hasn't released anything in the modern accessibility era, and I would be very curious to know if they've been taking anything on board in terms of accessibility offerings. I doubt we'll see much of that today. Yeah, Mazurf says, I like Inquisition, but it was kind of a mess, so them getting their stuff together and, you know, not being a toxic work environment would be nice. Yeah. One of the things I've been hearing from, like, rumblings about press impressions is that this is apparently feels a much more focused and sort of direct and to the point, more respectful of player time than Inquisition, in that I've heard people saying, like, yeah, there's still big open areas, but not as many, and like it's more. You're not going to feel like you did a lot of busy work that
Boost your
wasn't.
data for the full length of your
Go
contract
away,
with our
advert.
£12 launch offer.
Feeling a more of a tightly paced Dragon Age, which is exciting to hear. I'm alright, focus on me play. I'm doing alright. Go away, adverts. I'm just trying to put some Dragon Age soundtrack on and YouTube keeps throwing adverts around. Do all the Dragon Age games continue? Do I have to play the previous ones to play this? Dragon Age Inquisition is a pretty good jumping in point. Like, it works pretty well as a standalone adventure. I don't know this one. I've seen confirmation from the Dragon Age team that your character from Inquisition can be imported into this new one, and choices you made with them will slightly affect this adventure. But I don't know how much BioWare have said. Like, the impression I get with this, and particularly, I'll say this is my gut impression. Originally, this was going to be called Dragon Age Dreadwolf, which was a reference to a character from the last game, Inquisition, and they've renamed it to Veilguard. And my impression is a big part of that is they're trying to go, we don't want you to worry that this is like a continuation of the last one, where you need to know who this villain is from the last one, or it won't make sense. I think they're trying to go, this is a new cast of characters, a new thing. This is a place you can jump in on. We know the last one wasn't for more than a decade. We want to give you a fresh entry point. That's my impression from the naming stuff, but Gumba Master, like, I suspect if they're gonna let you import some stuff from your last playthrough, I would suspect they would do what I think it was Mass Effect 2 on PlayStation did, where they're like, okay, do you want to, like, tell us what your Inquisitor looked like, and answer some questions about the choices you made. Even if you don't have a save file to import, you can do this little quiz, and it'll basically replicate your Inquisition stuff. But yes, we are continuing to see lots of pride flags in the YouTube chat. Yeah. One common complaint about Inquisition is it felt like you had to do a lot of gather 20 of these collectathon quests to get to the good stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, generally speaking, like, if you've played the previous ones, you will know, like, oh, I know who that guy is. This guy here, in this screenshot you can see with the beard, the sort of with the big crossbow. I believe his name is Varric, and he is a guy that you might know if you played Inquisition. But if you don't know, he's just a guy with a beard and a crossbow. Won't they be using Dragon Age Keep for the save stuff again? Maybe, probably. I don't know the answers to these things. We can assume. Yeah. What really stuck with me in Inquisition was the absence of the main threat throughout the game, and a lack of motivation to do things in later areas. Yeah, Ubisoft open world. Inquisition set up a really like, I say this as someone who likes Inquisition, and like, you know me, I rarely dislike a BioWare game. Inquisition sets up a really interesting initial premise, and then sets you out in a big open world to do stuff that doesn't immediately feel connected to that big interesting premise that was set up, and it does improve in that regard, but much like I fell off the first Mass Effect, the first like 3 or 4 times I tried to play it before it then became my favorite one of my favorite game series ever. Dragon Age Inquisition I fell off a couple of times because, like, I would get to that first big open area to explore and be like 7 hours into exploring this big open area, being like, I'm doing stuff, but I'm doing completionism, and I don't like that opening section didn't feel like it was connected to the inciting incident that I'd been into, which I know is a turn off to some people for Dragon Age, and I'm intrigued if this can be a little tighter in that, keeping it on on the Adventures rails. It's something that I've always felt that Mass Effect did a little better of the two big BioWare series, but has Inquisition aged well? I would like to give it a go if it still feels like a playable game in 2024. It's aged pretty well. It doesn't feel as old of a game as it feels like it should, particularly on console where you've got decent controller input. Escape the Hinterlands is so real. Yeah, the Hinterlands was a real stumbling block on my first Dragon Age playthroughs, my Inquisition playthroughs, but we get there. The opening area was too big. I agree. I say this as someone who, like, Mass Effect, I think it was, like, my first 4 playthroughs, I never made it far enough into the first Mass Effect to become a Spectre. Like, that's how not far into that series I got on multiple occasions before then going, oh, this is the best thing in the world. And the Hinterlands in Inquisition were similarly a... I got that far a number of times, and then when I got past it, I was like, oh, this game is amazing. Yeah, part of me would really recommend, like, mainline only the most important things in the Hinterlands and move on. And doing so really does help Inquisition's initial pacing. Yeah, Terra, I'm the same. If you put me in a big open space, I want to do every single thing possible in that big open space before I can continue, and that will not be a sustainable way to play Inquisition. I mean, at this point, if or when I do an Inquisition playthrough on stream, what I will probably do is Google for a community list of, like, what are the good engaging quests in each area, and I will go find those. I will do exactly the quests that the internet is like, this is the good list. Yeah. We're getting there. 15 minutes to go. Yes, as I say, I will probably do a playthrough of Inquisition on stream at some point. You can watch me storming around as a canary with my big horns. Because if I could, of all the species that I can be in Inquisition, why wouldn't I be big, tall, powerful with horns? It feels like a no-brainer. The only correct choice is to just be big, strong horn. Yeah, no, I understand. I am a person that struggles with moving on from areas without 100%ing them. 100%. It negatively impacted the pacing of my experience of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. My need to 100% things before moving on. I've had to learn to get better about it. And honestly, having my ADHD medicated helped a fucking lot. Nearly time. Oh, I'm still watching all the people in chat be like, oh, stop with the flags, stop with the gay stuff. Just to be spammed with more flags. Again, for anyone who was here earlier, I said this at the start. I don't know who's coming into the YouTube chat for a Dragon Age game being like, oh, if there's a single gay in it, I'm uninstalling and asking for a refund. I'm like, do you really think you're gonna play a Dragon Age and this is gonna be the first one with no LGBT characters or themes at all? You reckon this will be the first time they're like, you know, we decided we've had enough of that, you know, we're done. Actually, I will say on disability representation stuff, it's been pointed out that one of the companions that's been shown off, Neve, has a prosthetic leg, which is pretty cool. And other people have pointed to Tash, the canary, who has one horn missing and replaced with a sort of green gemstone prosthetic horn. I'm like, hell yeah, two 2 of our 7 party members have prosthetics, and that's pretty rad. The Great Goddess Freya said, I saw someone in the chat doing a countdown to non-binary revolution. Yeah, again, there's a real misconception that some, like, whiny gamer bros have about Dragon Age, which is, in their head, it's like, it's medieval fantasy, that means it's for me. And these are clearly people who've never played a Dragon Age before. It's like, no. Dragon Age is not for, like, gamer bro medieval fantasy history nerds, the kind who would complain about but historical accuracy if you had a non-white person in a trailer. The game is not for them. Dragon Age is like a series explicitly designed for like 14-year-old queer girls who are going to write 150,000 word fan fictions about their favorite pairings. Like, that's who Dragon Age is for. You're fighting a losing battle if you want to try and fight against that pale male and stale. Hey, Lashriel. Yeah, there are lore games in the first book that are like, yeah, no, like everyone is gay. Yeah, particularly if you go read the Dragon Age, like, books, the Dragon Age novels and short story collections, everyone's gay. I'll say it now and I'll say it again. The day that Iron Bull uttered the words, I don't give a nug's ass if he can't piss standing up, was the day that this series was like, yeah, we not only are we going to be progressive, but like we've done enough research to be like casual and funny with it, and I'm like, God, Creme is great. Iron Bull is wonderful. I love Iron Bull. I love Creme. Thimba says, I guess some people are taking this game too seriously, like the gamer bros are sure living for the Dragon Age, because dragons aren't real, just like their idea of perfect world. Sightless Combat, there are books for this. There's a bunch of them, and they're pretty fun on world building, so if you like the idea of this, but this game ends up not being accessible, there are books, and I believe there are audiobook versions as well. If you just want to go, I want to soak in some of this interesting setting that people are digging. Echo says, Iron Bull is dream boyfriend, to be honest. Big, strong, caring, and trans-supportive in, like, the most blasé of ways. Yeah, hell yeah. Muzaref in the YouTube chat says, Iron Bull is a good dude and 100% what you should be as an ally. Vocal about it, but also knowing when to shut up and let the trans person in the room speak. Also when to smash someone with an axe. Exactly. Yeah, honestly, Sightless Combat, yeah, Halo, Gears of War, World of Warcraft, there's a fair few of those where it's like, you've got a big, expansive set of books to expand that world out. Like, Mass Effect is the other BioWare series that, like, has a lot of book material. There is a lot of Mass Effect books you can get into in that expanded universe. Thimba says, Laura is courageous for letting the chat be visible when I'm watching any big stream. I just hide chat. I was saying this at the start. I usually do, and the only reason I've left it up today is before the stream started, I had a look at it, and it's entirely, okay, now's when I'm going to close it. I was going to say the whole thing was people being like, oh, I'm going to refund the game if there's a single gay, and then a lot of pride flags being shared, but we are at the point now where, hooray, Free Palestine messages coming up in chat, but a lot of Israeli flags also showing up in chat, and now a lot of, yeah, now's the point, I think, where it's like, it's devolving into slightly... I've just seen some racist dog whistles showing up. I'm like, okay, it's no longer fun to just watch the homophobes get shouted down with pride flags. Some gross shit's gonna start happening now. Hurrah. No, Saint Nobody, I think they were putting them in there as the opposite of Palestinian flags, I think is why they were there. Thimba, up until you said Laura was courageous for having the chat open, the chat had been pretty well behaved. You acknowledged it, and as if in response the chat was like, oh, we've got to dial up the bigotry. You're like, okay. So we've got 7 minutes. Okay, we're getting pretty close. You did indeed, it did indeed get jinxed. But yes, I am excited for this. Things we know, they're not showing off the character creator today in this 20 minutes. It's from the start of the game, which means we're probably not seeing much, if any, of the those 7 companions that were shown off in the other trailer. As Undying Abstract says, I've never played a Dragon Age, but if they let you create a non-binary character, I'll give the new one a chance. They're not showing us the character creator today, but look, if any series was gonna let you do that, it feels like this would be the series. The last Dragon Age was over a decade ago, but if they were willing to have Iron Bull stand up for trans men a decade ago, then you know you'd hope they'd be ready to go, have some they them pronouns in the chat. Echo says, to be honest, if they play anywhere like the average player, just showing off the character creator would be like a 3-hour stream. You're right, but also I just want to see... I just want like a 30-second skim that I can freeze frame and look at some options. Actually, you know what I would love? And some games have done this in the past. Oh, there's an advert going again. Go away, advert.
Turn their nothing to wear into something they'll love.
I'll go away 1 sec. I would love if we got a downloadable demo that was like, hey, at the end of this 20 minutes of gameplay, you can now go to Steam or the PlayStation Store or whatever and download the character creation demo. And the whole point of the demo is that you can create your character now in advance of months from now when you actually get to play the game. I know games have done it before. The Saints Row reboot did it. I'm trying to think of other ones off the top of my head that I know have done it in the last couple of years. But there's part of me that's like, I have a little gut instinct. Maybe not today. Maybe at some point closer to launch. But part of me wants to believe, like, today, you can go fuck around with the character creator. And that's why they're not showing character creator here. Sightless Combat says, I just want to know if there's menu narration, navigation assist, and additional audio cues, amongst others, of course. I suspect we won't find that out from this 20 minutes today. But what I think, if we are going to find that information out, it'll probably be from press previews from Summer Games Fest, which I think I saw someone suggesting they were going up today. So we just have to hope that someone who had hands-on with it at Summer Games Fest thought to dig around the menus and see what was there. Either that, or BioWare's actually been pretty good about answering questions the last couple of days on social media. It might just be worth tweeting them and going, does this game have any accessibility features? I would love to know if I can play it, and see if they respond. Tara says, do you think we get a release date? My gut says yes. And I would put money on, like, 2/3 of the way into October, like the 20-something of October, is where my heart is telling me. I don't have any secret info to back that up. I'm just following my soul on that one. Which account would you suggest tagging in that? Happy to go for it. At BioWare has been answering a reasonable amount of people's social media posts. I can't guarantee they'll respond, but I think because the Xbox trailer got a mixed response and they're trying to win people's reception back, they have been answering more questions than I'm used to a big corporate account answering. So I think it would be worth a shot. Yeah, they said, that's the thing, they said fall, so it can't be more than like 4 or 5 months away anyway. I feel like they give us a date here. They've given the launch window a fall, so yeah, also, hey, Illithid in the YouTube chat. Okay, we're like 2 minutes away. I'll give it like another minute and then I'll turn the music off. Focus on Me Play says, I thought Mass Effect was EA, did not know it was BioWare. Is EA the publisher? Yes. EA owns BioWare and publishes BioWare's games. This would be perfect for Steam Deck, but looking at recent releases, I'm guessing it won't be playable unless they optimize for it. I don't know. Like a lot of recent recent RPGs have run okay on Steam Deck. Off the top of my head, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth ran decently on Steam Deck. Like, really, the only things I can think of recently that haven't run on Steam Deck were the PC ports of PlayStation games like Ghost of Tsushima. Like, Sony hasn't been optimizing their most recent ports for Steam Deck verification, but a lot of other stuff, you know, you can sort of get it running on Steam Deck. Honestly, I do wish we got a remaster of the first Dragon Age at some point. I tried to play it a bit ago, and it is rough. Yeah, Mars F, the pre-Inquisition Dragon Ages are a little rough to go back to. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the Dragon Age music now just to be ready. So we're gonna have no music for a minute just while we wait for this to start. Yeah, I suspect I will probably do my first playthrough of this on console just for the nicest visual experience, but I will probably then end up replaying it on handheld, be it the Steam Deck or I've got the Lenovo Legion Go, which is a nice little powerhouse. If anything I've got's gonna run Dragon Age, it's probably that. Oh, it's nearly time. Oh, less than a minute left. I click on this and then F, is it? Yeah, okay, we're in the full screen. Oh, come on, I'm excited. I am excited to see more of this. At least the last couple of days I've been thinking of nothing but Dragon Age. I've been very excited for the Dragon Age. It's time. Are we playing? Are we running? I need to hit F5. Okay. Play. Go. Time. Start. Oh, it's a 4-minute timer. Love that for us. Okay, 3.5 minutes. Please tell me that this 3.5 minutes isn't counted in the 20 minutes that we're seeing today. Hopefully they mean 20 minutes of gameplay, not a 20-minute video, 5 minutes of which is this. Oh, the McWomble, don't we all love countdown streams? Yeah, Thimber, I'm aware of that, and I'm not gonna ruin this pleasant stream I'm having by digging into that. Mazurv says, I don't normally pop in for the reveal streams for this stuff, but I was going to for this, then I saw you streaming. Yay! I'm glad that I'm a desirable place to hang out for these things. Countdown to another countdown would be fantastic. We had like 3 countdowns for one of the showcases over the weekend. I don't remember which one it was. 2 minutes. Come on, you can't draw me out like this. I need my Dragon Age, and I need it now. Nimba says, one day I watched a showcase where the countdown was longer than the showcase. What was that? I'm curious now. Okay, 2 minutes to go. Last chance for me to check that there's nothing else I need to be aware of before this kicks off. Okay. The Tiny Build showcase a few weeks ago. How long was their timer and how long was their showcase? New mage subclass, the Countdown Monster. Oh. I'm enjoying this good ambient music, though. Can they give me, like, a half-hour ambient loop that I can work to for a bit? This is good, undistracting background ambience, and I need more of this. I always appreciate when a good video game is like, there's not too much melody, not too much treble, I can just float through your soundtrack. Okay, 50 seconds. Oh gosh, Shadow of the Erd Tree's really soon. Oh. 19-minute show and 20-minute countdown. At least it was close to 50-50. And to be fair, like, the AA showcase had a half-hour countdown on Twitch for a 45-minute showcase, so, like, you know, it was just making sure the stream had time to be ready. I could troubleshoot. Ooh. Okay, like 10 seconds. I'm going to turn the audio up of the stream. And forgive me if I do a lot of watching and listening and not talking, because I am... This is a big one for me. This is your first look at Dragon Age: The Veilguard. The following footage was captured from software in development and takes place very early in the game. It has been edited for brevity and to avoid any major spoilers. Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Oh, Nev's as good at finding people as you claim.
She's the best damn detective I've ever met. If she says she's got a lead on Solus, I believe her.
Solus, I know that name from Inquisition.
Should we be in more of a hurry to get out of here?
We don't want to look conspicuous. Just get out of here nice and casual. Find Nev Gallus and stop Solus.
Ah, Neve, this is the person with the prosthetic leg, who I guess is going to be our first companion. Rook, level 1 rogue, backstory Shadow Dragons, custom appearance. That's a good way to do this. I'm guessing Varric is
You still think
helping us find our first
before he
companion.
starts his big ritual?
That ritual is going to tear down
Very
the
different
veil.
art style indeed,
The
Echo.
only thing separating us from the Fade and an endless number of demons. I have to talk him down.
This looks gorgeous.
Wait! But I didn't do anything!
Get down.
Are they
It
after
would be
us?
great if there was an
Is it
official
because of
audio
the bar?
described. I can do my
Word
best to
travels fast
provide some
in
description.
Mirathus.
We've got to help her.
What appears to be a ring floating in the sky has shone a
Don't
bright
have time to
spotlight
get
on a
arrested,
young woman.
especially
Yep, definitely appears to be a big floating ring, shining spotlights and firing lasers at people.
Oh, crap.
We're too late.
The ritual started. But if we hurry, we can still stop Solus before it finishes. Let's go.
Oh, so Solus is doing stuff right at the
Running's
start.
this way. She'll get us to Dumont Plaza.
Watch out!
Yes, the player character Rook appears to be an elf, I think, from the ears, wearing a cape. Varric is a sort of dwarf with a beard and a big crossbow on his back.
And they're slipping through the
Giant
cracks.
flaming demons are attacking the
When
city.
the veil comes down completely,
And the whole world is going to look a lot like this.
This has real vibes of the opening of Mass Effect 3, when the Reapers appeared in their thousands on Earth
Come on, this way.
to kick
It's
the
to get
game
us
off
to
right from
Harmony.
minute 1. very smoothly moving in and out of cutscenes. I like it. I like that none of the cutscenes are too long.
You're safe now. Get inside. And
We
bar the
now
doors
have
quick as you
Harding,
can,
who
okay?
has a magical bow and arrow.
Harding, you all right?
I've been doing what I can to help.
Lance Harding,
The
Scout,
ritual must
Hero
be
of the
weakened with
Inquisition.
Veil. There are a lot of scared people out here.
And a lot of demons. Haven't seen this many come through the Fade in years.
I'm assuming it's been a
about
good
you
number
two?
of years
Are you
since
okay?
Inquisition. Okay, never better, in a hurry, or a little shaky, and depending on which you point towards, it puts an icon up to
We're good,
tell you the
but
kind
we
of
need to
response
move.
you're giving.
Agreed. Solus isn't waiting, neither can we.
Have you got my gear?
Right over there.
I want to look at Rook's
Where's
hair.
Nefgalis? Wasn't she at the meeting point?
Tori got to her first.
It's
We
a
grabbed her
analog
before we
stick,
arrived
and you
paid
point
off
it
the
in
bar
one of
and
3
keep it quiet.
directions. If it's anything like
I'm not
Inquisition, it'll
surprised our
vibrate
detective
as it
did
reaches
something to piss
the
off a
directions
cult
around
of
the wheel.
murderous blood mages. But their timing stinks. The bar owner said the Venatori took Ned
If you'd played
to
more
Mont
Dragon Age, you would
Plaza.
know about
Can you
the
get us
Fade,
there,
but I
Harding?
imagine if you played this game
Look,
from
you're
its
with the
actual
Shadow
start, they
Dragons.
will
I
explain
figured
what the
you'd know
Fade
them around
is.
this better than I do.
Basically,
Sure, but
other
the map is
dimension,
huge.
there's magic
This is
shit in
nowhere
there.
near my
It's
neighborhood.
kind of bad.
I can try.
Don't worry. Scouting's my specialty. Follow me.
I'm... Part of me assumes if they're showing a black player-created character in the start here, they are confident about their selection of
Here they
black
come.
hairstyles for player characters. Okay, fighting against a bunch of sort of wraith-looking floating skeletons with cloaks over them. It definitely does look more God of War Ragnarok style third-person fast-paced action combat than some of the traditional or the prior Dragon Ages. Now, I think it looks really cool. I know some people are gonna very much go, this isn't how Dragon Age fighting is, but I'm looking at this going, this is a very cool fast-paced third-person action fantasy happening that I like the look of controlling.
Good. Let's get to Dumont
The
Plaza
Fade is
and
where
find
magic
Ned.
come from, but
Patch
also
yourselves
demons,
up
and
if
that's
you
why
need it.
mages are feared. Yes. Yes. The narrative selection wheel is kind of like Horizons. That's a good reference point.
I don't get it. If Solus tears down the veil, doesn't that destroy everything?
Solus always talked about how beautiful the ancient world was.
That world existed before the Veil, and he wants to bring it back.
Sound design seems nice. I'm gonna have to look. Thanks for all the descriptions so far. I'm doing my best. I hope it's been helpful.
Venatori cultists!
Lashriel says, I'll play on an easy in case there's combos. I'll forget. I imagine there probably will be difficulty modes. Yes, we've got some sort of royal people in like masks that kind of are like
the Venatori put up a barrier to block
the
way.
new Star Trek films red-headed helmets and fancy mage robes. Yeah, you've got a dash. It seems like a pretty effective dash. Health bars above enemy heads, which I like. I appreciate knowing exactly how close I am to taking these down. Molly Hawk, I want to know how it will play as a mage as well. We'll see. Or maybe we'll see. Yes, I'm enjoying the amount of mobility going on here.
Come on.
Okay,
Guess we're
Rook.
sliding down.
Rook is traveling through a bunch of city ruins, seemingly towards a big green rift portal in the distance. I'm guessing to try and close it. Use the ability wheel to pause the action and choose from Rook's abilities. Cool, so you can still do Inquisition style pause selector thing from the action wheel. But there's constantly at the bottom of the screen 3 icons, which are presumably your you set 3 of your abilities to your quick selects. But other things in your arsenal you can still use via slowdown. Honestly, I feel like so far what they're showing here crosses that line of fantasy that might still appeal to sci-fi people. Like, it's not too dry hard fantasy.
Take your revenge!
I mean, it seems like rifts are still involved, which would make sense. This was originally going to be called Dreadwolf, and we know that the Dreadwolf had intentions regarding the rifts. I'll say without saying too much for people who haven't played Inquisition. It's Echo says it's going to be a magical industrial revolution era. Yeah. Main character did appear to just use a bow, so it means melee plus bow on one character. This is Neve. Ice Mage, private investigator, has a prosthetic leg and is wearing like a
We thought the Venatori had kidnapped
graduation cap almost.
They thought the same thing. A lot of Venatori in the city have reason to hate me. Figured I'd play along. Find out who wanted to settle the score this time.
Yeah.
Then the sky started raining demons.
A PI Ice Mage. A P Ice Mage.
Rook, this is Nev Gallus, our local expert. She's gonna help us find Solus. Nev, meet Rook. Both of you have done some work for the Shadow Dragons.
Isn't that a coincidence?
Some old friend said if I was
Okay,
working
the Shadow
together,
Dragons
the
is one of
Shadow
your
Dragons are
background
worth
options,
trusting.
it seems. I do really like her stupid, just, it's a square on the side of her head
I haven't
hat.
got a lot of time. Varric said you had a lead on Solus?
You get right to the point.
I'm enjoying her voice actor as well. Her very fancy, elaborate outfit. She's dressed like Seto Kaiba with more ruffles, and I think that's a good look.
I traced it to a building beneath Our Lady of Victory. That's where your man is hiding.
Then let's go. Before this ritual he's doing gets any worse.
Worse.
More
This ritual's
fascinated than
already
Hat,
drawing
I
more power
suppose,
than I
yes.
expect from a dozen mages. You told me he was working alone.
I also told you he was an ancient elven god.
An elven god. Well, whatever he is, he's causing
Okay,
trouble in
so
my
I guess
Let's go.
we're wasting no time, and like the opening of the game is Solus related. The team discovers Solus's hideout and an Alluvian gate, the portal he's used to escape the city of Minarethanos. They step through the gate. Yeah, that hair texturing on the player-created Rook
I know these
is
trees.
pretty nice. As I say, I
is
hope that means they're going to have more
Arlington
hair selections.
And there's your ritual. The power involved. I've never seen anything like it.
Okay, there's some big stone gates that look like an elf with a circle above his head, firing green magic up into the sky. Okay, more combat with the sort of floating cloak skeleton enemies. They're sort of pulsing with purple energy. Yeah, our player character Rook does seem to have access to dual swords plus a bow. I'm very curious what class that is, or if they are multi-class, perhaps? There is a big sort of green glowing, almost looks like a church in the distance, with many, many big spires, and the sky above it is glowing green, cracking like glass.
No telling what could come through.
It's a ranger? My assumption would be ranger, but I don't remember dual wielding on ranger. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, they said rogue. Cool. The team battles their way deeper into Arlathan Forest until they arrive at Solus's ritual site. Yeah, I'm assuming this is their equivalent of Inquisition up to the point we closed that first rift. Because I'm guessing what we're seeing. Yeah, they probably did say Pride Demon. It is Pride Month. Pride Demon. Yeah, so a big sort of glowing flesh beast floating off the ground. Looks almost like it's made of twisted branches spun together into a big behemoth. Yes, this was the first big enemy you fought in Inquisition as well. Was one of these. I'm loving the design and the purple energy sword it's wielding. They also have interrupt attacks and an incoming damage indicator. Nice. Yeah, if anything has come up already and I then say something that contradicts it, I apologize. There's a lot going on. I'm trying my best to take it all in. There is lock-on for enemies, which is good to know. There is a glowing indicator over the character to go an incoming attack is happening. I wonder if it will be paired with like a... it sometimes changes yellow for different attacks. I wonder if there will be a rumble or something associated that someone could react to if not based on visual. Honestly, the combat looks fucking great. I know some people are gonna go, oh, this isn't Dragon Age combat. This looks like a really damn enjoyable, fast-paced, third-person action-adventure. Ammo is a low number that continuously recovers. Good catch. You have 8 arrows, but they are refilling all the time, so you can't spam them eternally. But if you've used them all up, you will have them back pretty quick. Okay, they enter these sort of castle ruins. Not having to ammo scavenge is great. I don't mind it too much in like The Last of Us, where I can turn on high contrast to just see yellow and go, cool, that's when there's ammo, but I would always prefer to just have replenishing ammo. Running out of ammo is never a fun game mechanic to me.
You three just keep the demons off me while I talk to him.
Varric.
Echo? Honestly, yes. I would prefer it play like a good action game than try and be
To
tactical.
sell him another option, to help him justify changing his mind.
Solus needs someone to tell him another option. This is a mistake, or you can do it. Or challenge Varric's plan.
Come on, Varric. We didn't come all this way just to talk to him.
He was my friend, Brooke.
The
I've gotta
McWomble,
try
they
and
haven't
reach
showed the
him.
ability to change companions on the fly,
If
but
you
right
won't
now
listen
we
to
only
me,
have one companion.
Then he'll hear from
Me.
Bianca.
We don't have any of the other, like, permanent game companions yet.
More demons.
Yeah, Varric's approval did not appear. Yes, Rook is,
Take care of the thief
like,
for
our
me.
Inquisitor, generic title equivalent again. Oh yeah, we are just going straight for Solus right at the
Chuckles.
start.
Hope I'm not interrupting.
Okay, our Elfman is at a giant orb of green energy trying to hop around with this rift.
Let's buy him some time.
Honestly, yeah, I am so impressed. Not only am I really impressed at like the visual style, how fluidly it's running. Like this looks, I might be wrong. It looks like it's running at a lock 60, which would be really cool. I really don't think Varric's making it past this first 5 minutes, if I'm honest. Or 20 minutes. The Inquisitor will be part of this game. BioWare have said you will be able to import your Inquisitor, tweak their appearance, and make some choices relevant to how Inquisition went.
I have taken precautions to minimize the damage, Varric.
Minimize the...
So at the very least,
People
your
are dying
Inquisitor will
right
appear
now.
visually in the
You
game.
need to listen. Please.
Oh, Solus, his eyes glowed green and he snapped Varric's crossbow in half with his mind.
It is what they do.
Shit. We need a better plan.
Do you want me to take the shot?
Won't work. He's too powerful.
What if we disrupt the ritual?
How?
See those statues? If we break the scaffolding holding that one up, the whole thing will come down on Solus.
It's risky. Interrupting a ritual. of
The whole thing's
scale
going to come down on Solus,
consequences.
but it's going to come down on
What
Varric
about
as
the
well.
demons? Varric
You know
needs
what?
us to hold them
They're going to
off.
fake out that Varric
Right.
has
You
died,
two stay
and then
here.
he'll show
I'll
up
bring
like in
down
the
the
final
steps.
5 minutes.
What? No.
Like they'll
Stepping
go,
into all that raw magic is
they'll
suicide.
The storm could tear you
they'll
apart.
fake out, kill him,
Anyone got
bring
a
him
better idea?
back 5 minutes from the end.
Fine, but you'll need backup. I'm with you.
I'm a mage. I'll go.
Either way, someone needs to stay back and deal with the demons.
Neve with me. Neve will follow you into greater danger. Harding with me. Harding greatly approves.
Let's go, Hardy. Nev, keep the demons
Oh,
off
the
us.
lip syncing
You got it.
on the dialogue is wonderful. Echo says, I've noticed the subtitles aren't 100% one-to-one with the actual dialogue. It's only small differences, but it's bugging me. I've been trying to keep an eye on chat, so I hadn't noticed that. I hate when games do that, and hopefully that changes before release. Make subtitles one-to-one with the words being said, please. Killy, I don't think this is a Cade and Ashley choice. Harding and Neve are both implied to be, like, 2 of your 7 companions for the game. I doubt they're going to kill one of those 7 companions off in the first 20 minutes and show us here.
Why? Why tear down the veil? Knowing all the lives it'll cost.
We shared a journey years ago. Do you believe that I would do this if there was some other better option?
The pillar's weak, but
It isn't falling. We need to
That
push it.
might be a new Solus
I'm
voice
with you.
actor? I don't know.
Together, now!
You came a long way and made a valiant effort, Varric, but this story does not end with my downfall.
Push!
I'm no good at knowing when someone's voice actor is being replaced. I'm not a good judge of it. Okay, one of the big statues is falling down toward Solus and the Rift. Solus uses his magic to try and blast the exploding, the falling pillar away. Seems to have been successful. The pillar doesn't appear to have destroyed. This big rift is opened up finally. Some demons seem to be leaving the portal. I'm guessing they are gods. Still no date, it just says coming fall. I really thought we were going to get a date today. Yeah, the first trailer said something about defy gods. I'm assuming these are those gods that are going to need defying. So yeah, that was a bunch of Dragon Age gameplay. Now I'm going to go back over this one more time with sound down lower and see if there's anything
I believe her.
anything more I want to take in that was of note. Let's have a look. Yeah, really love this city design and how much you can see in the distance. Feels like a very lived-in space. A lot of NPCs, which is really nice. Yeah, it's looking just visually gorgeous. Skim through a little bit. Yeah, let's look at this again. Text overlays added for context and do not appear in game. Yeah, that makes sense. So rogue, level 1 rogue. So yes, level 1 rogue with dual melee swords, custom appearance. Backstory is shadow dragons. Yeah, the sort of neon signs made out of magic are a really cool touch. Let's go once more through this. Honestly, I think that was a perfect amount to show. It was a teaser, it showed a chunk of gameplay. It's like, hey, the tone is what you were hoping for. Get excited. Honestly, yeah, this has made... I can see why someone would see this and go, has BioWare found the magic again? This feels real good. Do we know what this is running on? No idea. They have not said. I think hands-on impressions happened, or are happening right now. People have gone hands-on at Summer Games Fest. Those people will probably be able to mention what they played on, which might give us a sense of performance on target hardware.
Word travels.
Yeah, let me look at that combat again now that I'm not trying to take everything else in. Skim ahead a little bit. The flame effects on these big demons crawling across the buildings look gorgeous. There's some stuff here with this, like, people running away and monsters coming in from off-screen and grabbing people and running out, and the sort of interplay between enemies and NPCs in a cityscape that reminds me a lot of the opening segments of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which is like, that's a good comparison to be making. That did a great job of making it feel like you were running through a big environment in which like the chaos was happening around you, independent of you. The big floating demon there reminds me a lot of... what is it making me think of? It's invoking something.
Door as quick as you can, okay?
Thank you, miss.
Let me actually, yeah, let me watch these conversations again. I really like these facial animations,
I've been doing what I
and
can to help. The ritual must be weakening the veil. There are a lot of
yeah, the lip sync is great.
Haven't seen this many come through the Fade in years.
That's some great faces during dialogue.
We're good.
Okay. Yeah, let me get a look at this hair texture. Oh, that looks really nice. Oh, that's looking good. Hey, Johnny Desu. Yeah, I won't be around for much longer because I need to get some other work bits done shortly, but I just want to, just one more time, have my little look through. Yeah, hair effects are looking really nice. Dragon Age as a series has always been a little hit and miss with hair, and yeah, Cheshire Poirot says 4C hair texture. Right? Again, I said this before. The fact that, like, the Game Informer magazine cover that we've seen, and some of the screenshots we've seen, and now the first 20 minutes of gameplay are using a black rook with textured hair, it gives me hope that this is not just, this is the one hairstyle we have. It makes me feel confident there will probably be, or at least hopeful that there will be a good variety of hair textures, which is still uncommon in video games, and it's great to see. And it's good that we're also not seeing, as some people have pointed out, video games over the last, like, 2 years that have had black male player characters or creator character hair options. I've seen people correctly point out that developers over the last 2 years have really fallen into only offering one good black hairstyle for male characters, which is the lovingly referred to as the Miles Morales, the that one specific hairstyle that every character ended up with for a while. The Killmonger hairstyle. The one hairstyle. And I would have some hope that this is gonna be different, which is nice.
There's nowhere near my neighborhood. I can try.
Don't worry.
Let's have a little skim. Oh, I do like these sort of glowing cloak enemies. Now that I can stop and have a closer look, it's like it's a cloak filled with an electrical representation of a skeleton and a brain. It's the rib cage, spinal column, and brain, but only made of energy. Yeah, that's really nice. Also, yeah, as Cheshire Poirot's pointing out, like, they've done a really good job with his skin tone, still looking good in dark scenes and being illuminated well by external light sources, also things that can sometimes not be great with some skin tones. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here that I'm feeling optimistic about. Yeah, let's take this combat in a bit more broadly. I like that there appears to be a lock-on cursor, appears to be, as default, enemy health bars above heads. Quick dash, picking up gold mid-fight without stopping. Like, it seems like a pot was broken and just a pop-up was like, oh, you picked up some gold, it's fine. Yeah, special effect page, hey! I was just appreciating how gorgeous this looked. I never played a Dragon Age game before, but now that I feel like I should. I'm feeling really optimistic seeing this. As people have pointed out, it's been a while since BioWare has had a game that, like, people have considered, like, across the board generally was like, yeah, this one was a hit. It's looking like they might have something good on their hands, and that excites me a lot. Yeah, the Great Goddess Freya says, skin tone is warm and not ashy, which happens a lot. Yes, I like this. We've got, like, a dash, held attack, instantly going into, your bow attack. Yeah, I would love to see an input, like, the screen showing me what inputs were happening during that combat to see how much of that was automated and how much was specific combos. Also, look how many rats they've got running around here in a second. This absolute little ocean of tiny rodents. This is one of those things that next-gen console games need to take more advantage of. Is we can just have hundreds of little independent things moving around. I don't worry that much about pushing your resolutions further up. Give me, like, a swarm of little things. Yeah, Paige, just before you arrived, we were talking about hair textures, and the fact that this is how they chose to lead with their creator character gives me hope that this will not be the only good hair texture option available. Oh, navigation. I like that there is a constant little on-screen dot that is pointing me towards progress, so I know which way to point the camera to know where I'm going.
Solus always talked about how beautiful the ancient world was.
That world existed before the Veil, and he wants to bring
Yes,
it
I appreciate a good little navigation assist dot that I can have turned on.
Even if his ritual kills us all in the process.
Constant map marker / compass is so needed for my ADHD. Same. That lovely ADHD aphantasia combo, I have no idea where I am in games half the time. Please just point me where to go. Exactly, I can get lost in an empty room. Exactly.
Looks like the Venatori put up a barrier to block the way.
A lot of really nice shattering effects, like when the veil was being opened at the end, sort of like it looked like chunks of glass shattering apart. There's a lot of like nice broken glass elements happening in some of the visual stuff. Did the main character just deflect that dude's spell? I missed that the first time around. Did they? Did Rook deflect a spell? Let's see. I'm watching for it now.
Like the
it was right before where I restarted. Okay, we'll come back here. Sorry.
Venatori cultists.
Oh yeah, parried a spell back at them.
I hate these assholes.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Alright, sorry, I'm trying my best to keep on top of everything with everyone. Yes, Rook seems to be trying to get behind enemies to attack them. I'm wondering if there is like a backstab bonus, even if just for Rogue, perhaps? Okay, healing potions appear to be handled like a Dark Souls. You've got 3 of them. You used 1, you now have 2 out of 3, and presumably at a checkpoint they'll refill. You're not going to have to go and buy a bunch more. You have this many between checkpoints, it seems. A number you can presumably increase. I like that.
Come on.
Again, let me replenish resources throughout gameplay.
They're allies of Veilguard. Kill them all.
Okay, this ability wheel is interesting. Select, navigate. Okay. Is that how Inquisition did potions? I'm gonna be honest, it's been a while since I've Inquisitioned. That's good to know. Let's... Yes, I'm intrigued by these hooded characters with the sort of wobbly swords. Let me skim a little bit and see if there's anything. Ooh, enemy got weakened. What does static strikes do? Yeah, the camera's looking great. Let me opt back. Static strikes fires 2 bolts, costs 1 purple dot, 121 damage, fires 2 bolts, each dealing damage independently but traveling along the same path, applies weakened. Nice. Skim ahead a little.
A lot of Venatori in the city have reason to hate me. Figured I'd play.
Actually, yeah, let's go back. I wanna appreciate that cool prosthetic leg again, because the design is so cool. Yeah, the sort of like a cobra almost, tail at the bottom, fanned out sort of neck frills at the top. That is a really cool prosthesis design. Just walking around with a cobra from the knee down. Snake on the belt as well.
Not the worst.
Also the plaited scarf.
It's so good to see you.
Is the coat also a cobra?
They thought the same thing.
Maybe.
A lot of Venatori in the city have reason.
Yeah, clearly very snakish. When she flares it up defensively at one point in the trailer. Ah.
Started raining demons. So I'm back on the job.
Appreciate it. Rook, this is Veilguard.
Let me skim around a little.
Get right to the...
Find hints of old magic.
I traced it to a building beneath.
And let's go. Before this ritual he's doing more.
And we've got demons.
It's a good amount of foliage density, which is nice. Some good draw distance stuff going on as well. That there is like that particle dense sphere of magic happening with all the little sparkles traveling through it, constantly happening in the background at a distance away, while the game is keeping up a solid frame rate in the foreground.
I thought the demons were bad back in Minrathous.
Yes, I appreciate the bright elements on the enemies too, particularly that a lot of them seem to have different colors of glowing energy in them, so you can instantly go, oh, it's a purple one coming for me. Like they all seem to be a little color coded as to enemy type, which is nice for visibility. Okay, the ability wheel is used to issue commands and direct your companions, locked at this early point in the game. I'm guessing no direct control of companions, then? Maybe? I'm not seeing anything on the UI that would suggest you can hot swap to real-time playing your companions. Maybe that could be the case. This feels Mass Effect-y in that regard. Like, Mass Effect, you are playing as Shepard and issuing commands to your other party members. You're not playing as Liara or Garrus. I wish Mass Effect would let me play as Liara or Garrus, but, you know.
Watch the lightning.
Turian protagonist, any non-human protagonist in Mass Effect, please. Let me play as a non-human. Let me play as, what is the species in Mass Effect where before every sentence they say the emotion of the sentence? They essentially give tone tags. The, sarcasm, you're looking great today. Elcor, yes, let me play it as an Elcor. Or, the little jellyfish ones. Let me play as, like, one of the not humanoid, real alien ones. Oh, I've only just realised. If you look at the very bottom middle, you can see a purple lung with a, like, purple dot in the middle, and now there's a purple dot on the right. That's how many charges of special attack you have. That status effect electrical bolts move is one purple dot, and you would still have one left, and then it's slowly refilling. That's your resource bar for your specials.
How did demon this large get through the veil?
It's a pride demon. Damn thing probably sensed Solus's ego.
How'd that thing, a thing that big, get through the veil? It's a pride demon. It probably knew it was June and there were gay and trans people around. Oh yeah, we saw some of the meter used here. Let me scroll back. Or getting hit made you lose a bit of meter? Oh, maybe you lose meter when hit as well. Interesting, so meter's back up to full. Yeah, static strikes, we're about to lose half of that bar down the bottom. Yeah, okay, yes. Pride Month does have demon in the middle of it. Pride Demon. I do love the Pride shirt that's like highlighting the word demon in Pride Month. I'm like, fuck yeah. Bring all the demons to the party. We here at Pride Month will welcome them with open arms. Pride Month. Emo Pride Month. Echo, how have I never known?
Are you sure?
Positive. You three just keep the demons off me while I talk to him.
Varric, Solus isn't gonna stop.
Okay, we don't see Varric die here. Which was what we were talking about the first time through, that he might die here. What's the over-under that Solus kidnaps Varric? Because Solus thinks he's doing the right thing. He doesn't want to believe he's a villain. He's journeyed with Varric. He wants to be like, no, I wouldn't kill you, my friend that I've traveled with. I'm better than that. You would come to kill me, but I won't to kill you. I will just keep you prisoner until you see that I did the right thing. Because again, no splash card suggests that Varric will be like a companion with us. I think he either dies or they do a fake out death, but honestly on this second watch through I'm thinking they kidnap him. I'm thinking Solus kidnaps him and just buggers off.
Just because
yeah, killing him to strengthen his resolve, I could see it.
To sell him another option, to help him justify changing his mind.
Yeah.
To talk to him.
Yeah, and they're not, as you say, they're not telling us whether Varric approves or disapproves, which again really implies he won't be around most of this. Look, that's the thing. If Solus is, you know, maybe going to be gone for, like, he'll be here at the start and then you won't see him again until quite late. But they want an excuse to, like, cut away and show you Solus monologuing. Varys being kidnapped would be a great excuse for, letting him monologue.
Hey, Chuckles. Hope I'm not interrupting.
So many messages I gotta keep an eye on. Okay.
Let's buy him some time.
In a couple of minutes, I'm gonna have to finish up, but we'll try and make it to the end a second time through.
Can't hold these demons off forever.
God, I love some of the little details, like when Neve is doing ice magic, it explodes into like very well defined little snowflake shapes of various designs. Look at those adorable little snowflakes that sort of hang in the air for a second after an ice attack hits. Like, deliberately, they're not localized to the enemy that's been hit. Like, some of them are being generated in the foreground closer to the camera to make them visible, and I really like that as a visual choice. I mean, Echo, Varric getting killed sure would motivate the player, but also Varric getting kidnapped and needing rescuing would also probably motivate the player. Both of them would be very good player motivations.
Inflicted upon this world, it must be healed.
By drowning the world in demons?
I have taken precautions to minimize the damage, Varric.
Minimize the... People are dying right now. You need to listen.
People are always dying.
Okay, let me skim ahead a little bit. There's like one more thing I want to look at, really.
You two stay here.
To stay.
Let's go.
I know there's maybe stuff I'm skimming over, but I'm with the time I have, I'm trying to take as many of the big details in this second time as I can.
Knowing all the lives it'll cost.
We shared a journey years ago. Do you believe that I would do this if there was some other better option?
The pillar's weak, but
It isn't falling. We need to push it.
I'm...
You came a long way and made a valiant effort, Varric, but this story does not end with my downfall.
Push!
Solus does appear to be holding a dagger, yes. I want to see these things. Yeah. When the game, the first trailer said defy gods, I really assume that is what's going on here, is we are letting some like real ancient shit through from the Veil. Oh, can we, before it cuts to black, can we get a good look? That's some pretty spooky silhouettes. Come on, give us a date already. Give us a date. Yeah, I don't know if he was ready for those to come out, but maybe he let something out the Veil that he didn't expect until he has a change of heart. Perhaps. Right. I gotta leave this here. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I will, as I said, I might at some point between now and this game coming out, might do a Inquisition playthrough on stream, potentially. Some factors pending, we'll see. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I will... What day of the week is it today? It's Tuesday. I'll be back streaming tomorrow night, Wednesday, 10 PM UK, 5 PM Eastern, 2 PM Pacific. I will be streaming demos from Summer Games Fest and Steam Next Fest. Trying out a bunch of game demos. I'll be getting back to my usual streaming schedule. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed.